I had to do a lot of research,
Of
not to
course,
say, because you want to relate with, life, actual life experiences, not
yeah,
just read through books and stuff,
of
and,
course,
go
of course.
read material off the internet and stuff. So
Hmm.
I was looking for like real life videos which I can relate to. Oh my God, after that, it's like, I'm his hero. I get this call and they tell me, we got a surgery date for next week. And I was like, next week? I didn't
Wow.
think it's going to be that soon.
Welcome to the Green Table Talk. I am your host, Janine Johnson. Today, we have my friend Amina joining us on the show. Amina, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I'm glad you could make it. We've tried to do this a couple times before, but you're very busy and you've got things to do, and you've went ahead and you go ahead and tell everybody what you just did, the major accomplishment you just received.
So I just finished my 1-year program of medical lab technician. And
Beautiful.
finally,
Congratulations.
I'm certified to, draw
Excellent.
some blood.
Yes. You seem so excited to do that.
Yes. I'm a certified vampire.
There you go. There's the way of looking at it. That's what I'm talking about, right? Positive side to everything. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm happy we finally get you on the show today. We are going to share your amazing journey with our audience. And so we're going to tell them your story of sharing your kidney with your husband.
So 2019 was the big day where we had our transplant.
Okay.
All started way back in 2010.
Okay. Now, before you start that part, before you jump into that, let me know what your relationship was like. How were things with you and your husband? So, at that point, did you know there were health issues going on? Were you just a regular, couple just living your life and just a regular couple, right?
Yeah, just a regular couple. Got married in 2007.
Okay, beautiful.
I did not know at that time that he had any health issues and stuff. Something you don't know until after, right?
Yes, exactly.
So, 2010, he had a simple backache and stuff, and we ended up going to the hospital, to the emergency, where we found out that he was having kidney stones. When they did an ultrasound and a CT scan and stuff, the doctor came in and he gave us the big news that, you have polycystic kidney disease. And we are like, what?
Did you even know what that was at that point?
No, never heard of it. Yeah, never heard of it. So it was shocking. And then the doctor explained to us that, it's kind of like a hereditary autoimmune disorder.
Okay.
And you wouldn't know until you actually go through a scan and, you show some symptoms here and there and stuff. So he did tell us that, you have to take dietary precautions and stuff. Other than that, I mean, because it was in the very early stages and stuff. So the symptoms were kind of very small.
Okay. So there wasn't any, some people who have PKD, they have their stomach is enlarged or anything. So that wasn't evident at that point?
No, because the cysts were very, very small at that time.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So, and then fast forward to maybe 2016, 17, where he was going through regular annual checkups and stuff, but nothing as major like going to a specialist and stuff, until where he was getting really, really sick, where the cysts were growing at this point.
Wow. Did you have more than one at this point? Do you know if there was more than one, or just
the whole kidney was full of both of them?
Wow.
Really big tennis ball ones.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Yeah.
That must have been really painful for him though.
It was. He was losing a lot of weight. He was in constant pain. And if one of the cysts would burst, he'd be seeing urine in his blood in his urine as well. So it wasn't easy. Yeah, I mean, and that's when the family doctor referred him to a specialist at UHN.
Okay.
In downtown, and that's where he started going in for frequent checkups and frequent visits to the doctor. And
did anybody say? At this point, did anybody mention anything about transplant, or was it just more like preventative measures and just to make sure he feels more comfortable?
No, it was just preventative measures that because we were being referred to a dietitian and all that. And then later towards the end, they called us and they said that, you know, his the EGFR and stuff, like it was slowing down. So it was like the kidney was working at like 15, and then when it, you know, and it was coming down slowly. Yeah. So that's when they said, you know, the bank, usually the wait time is about 7 to 8 years. So the transplant time is going to take very long. So at this point, we're going to let you know that the dialysis is another option as well. So until you receive a kidney, you'd be put on dialysis. So, and the dialysis, I think they mentioned the peritoneal one.
Okay, yes, peritoneal dialysis, yes.
The peritoneal dialysis, yes. And at that point, when I heard about the long wait time for the transplant and stuff, I started researching about, you know, what happens in a dialysis, what happens when you go for a transplant, which option is better and stuff. I had to do a lot of research, not to say, because you want to relate with, you know, actual life experiences, not just read through books and stuff, and, you know, go read material off the internet and stuff. So I was looking for like real life videos which I can relate to from hearing people's stories.
Yes.
And at the same time,
did you reach out to anybody? Like, did you reach out to the Kidney Foundation or anything like that, or you just did all the research on yourself?
No, at that point, not to any kidney foundation, because I really wasn't aware of anything. But although my husband was put on the list, I was also doing my own, you know, site search and stuff. So in our community mosque, and, you know, letting people know, and, you know, through word of mouth, I was trying to spread it out that, you know, my husband's looking, this is his blood group and stuff. So
did you have a lot of people reach out to offer to try and get tested, or no?
I had one person, but she was really scared because her kids were really small and stuff. So, and I think the blood group at that time didn't match. So yeah. And there, you know, I really don't blame anybody, because it's a very, very difficult decision for anybody.
Yes, it's true. It's true. It's a very big decision. It's life changing, literally life changing. So that's understandable. And what did your husband think when you told him that you were going to try to get tested to be his donor? What was going through his mind?
He was scared. He's like, you know, if anything happens to me, we have a child, you know, who's going to take care of him. I'm like, see, the first thing that we all need to understand is that the doctors will not proceed with the transplant if they think you're at risk.
Yes,
that's the main thing throughout my entire journey. And my visits to the doctor and everything, I was constantly informed that they would not proceed until they knew for sure that everything is okay.
Yes.
And that they had 100% consent from me.
Not a lot of people realize. Not a lot of people realize that. They think, okay, they'll go ahead and do the surgery anyways. And you know, something happens to the donor, you know, a year or 2 years down the road. But that's the furthest from the truth. Anything that's a little bit off, they're not going to go ahead with you.
Exactly.
So I'm glad you said that.
So that's why I, you know, the more knowledge we spread, and the more we reach out to people with our stories, I feel like, you know, it's easier for them to make a decision. I was in that place, you know, it made it easy for me. So I'm like, you know, if my story can help even like one person, it's a big difference you can make.
And that's why I'm glad you're here on the show today, because like I said, it's good to share your story and put it out there on the Green Table Talk, and just share it with others as well, because your message might actually hit that one person who would be thinking, maybe I should donate, or, oh, you know, my friend is looking for whatever the organ is, and they're kind of hesitant, but they see something like this, and they see your story, they see someone that looks like them. It's like, oh, she did it, she's fine. You know, she looks healthy, she's beautiful, she's glowing, you know, and that might actually make the difference. So that's why I'm glad you came here to share your story. That's good.
Yeah.
So did anybody in the family, like in his side of the family, did they try to donate as well? Or it was just, you know what, you're the one, you're going to go ahead and get tested and see what happens?
I guess I was at a point where when I made a decision, I didn't really think about, you know, I never self-doubted myself. So I really didn't have that, you know, option to go and ask somebody else.
Okay.
His parents did think at some point, but because they're quite old and they have diabetes and stuff. So, you know, you can't pressure anybody. So I was like, you know, sometimes you have to just step up and just
of course
go ahead with the decision.
Did you have a gut feeling that you were going to be the donor, or you just said, you know what? Oh, you did, right?
Yeah, I did.
Wow. Because I thought you just thought, you know what, throw my hat in the ring and see what happens.
No,
sometimes you feel
I was positive from the moment I made that decision. So there was no turning back.
Look at that.
Yeah.
My goodness. So you go through all the tests, you're going through all these numerous amount of tests and being poked and, you know, blood drawn and all this other stuff, right? And you finally get the word that you are a match. Tell me, let's talk about that day.
After I did the blood work and stuff, the doctor, the coordinator had mentioned to me that it takes time for you to know whether you're a match or not.
Yes.
And it was about like a month or so that I hadn't heard from them. So I emailed my coordinator and I asked her, I'm like, what's going on? I had the blood work done and I haven't heard anything. And she after a day or two, she gets back to me and she's like, hey, good news. You guys, your tissues match. And I was like, whoa, there was like a whole bit of silence, like for me to, you know, actually digest the fact that, yes, this is actually happening, you know?
Yeah, this is happening.
Yeah. And then, you know, when we went through the, when we were having when we were called in for the surgery date as well, that took a bit time as well.
Okay.
And it was about like maybe 3 months in between or so. And when we finally, just before COVID hit, we were going to the doctor for my husband's blood work. And we were, I get this call and they tell me we got a surgery date for next week. And I was like, next week?
Wow.
I didn't think it's going to be that soon.
That's quick.
Reality struck.
Yes.
And, because at that point I had to make quick decisions and need to know where I was going to drop off my son and, you know, other things to be taken care of before I go in for the surgery. So I was like, I don't know if 1 week is going to be enough for me to get ready and stuff. So, and I was making that decision in my head, and we're crossing the pedestrian walk back to the car. And my husband suddenly tells me that, oh my God, I feel dizzy. And at that time, I felt like, there's a sign for me right there, you know?
Yeah.
Don't delay, just do it.
We gotta get it done. Yeah, we gotta get it done. We gotta make everything work. You've got a week, right?
Yes.
Wow. So it's surgery. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
And and things fell into place. And I called them back and I said, you know what? Let's just do it. The 1 week is fine. We'll go ahead with it.
And what was the date? That was the day of surgery?
9th of November.
Okay.
Yeah, 2019.
Wow. Yes. So how long was surgery?
Surgery for me, the doctor said, was about 3 to 4 hours, I think.
Okay.
And for my husband, it was another 4 hours, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so now, what was the recovery like for yourself versus your husband? And you're both recovering at home. So, you know, that might be kind of difficult because if you need something, he can't really jump up and go get it for you, and vice versa, right? So tell me about that. What's the recovery like?
So waking up in the hospital was, oh my goodness, I'm not going to, it hurt. It hurt real bad.
It was painful.
It was very painful. The first time you just get up and walk was the hardest part. It's like learning to walk all over again. But I couldn't have done it without, you know, the nurse's help. She was amazing. The nurse that I had, she was amazing. And even like family, my mom was here. So, you know, everybody's helped together.
That's good.
I took baby steps. It was the first 10 days, I should say, are really hard just because, you know, healing, the stitches are healing and, you know.
And you have to take your time.
Exactly. So about 10 days or so to just, you know, feel a little, like sit up and feel a little normal without being in pain. And then you have your painkillers and stuff. So that definitely helps. And the whole, like after maybe about 2-3 months, I started to feel myself again.
Okay. So that's not bad. What about your husband? What was the recovery like for him?
It was very difficult, much difficult than me. He was not himself. He was very irritated with the amount of meds they had to take and stuff.
And some of the meds actually make you irritated too. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Right? Like some of the meds, so you're irritated to begin with because you don't feel like yourself, you've gone through the surgery and you're just, but then the medication actually makes you, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
I understand exactly where he was coming from. So was there any setbacks on your end or on your husband's end during recovery?
No, not really. And especially because by then we had our lockdowns and stuff too. So it kind of gives time to just stay home and, recover and get back to ourselves.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. And what about your son? How old was your son at that time?
My son was 7 at that time.
So how was he adjusting, because mommy and daddy's not the same at this point. You're both, recovering from surgery. How was he during that process? Did he have a lot of questions?
No, I guess it's very difficult for kids to really understand what's going on. I mean, at some point, I felt like he was being very brave. He wasn't questioning much, and he was like, he's just watching,
observing and taking everything in.
Yes, he was observing. And towards the end, when I came home, he was in a lot of tears. I guess that was his way of coping up, and but because he didn't know what to say, he didn't know how to react. He was just too little to understand at that point.
Yeah. Has he brought it up since then? Like, have you talked about the surgery with him or explained to him what happened with mommy and daddy, or has it come up?
Oh my God. After that, it's like, I'm his hero everywhere. He keeps talking about it to his teachers, to his friends. I mean, he's everywhere. Like, he's always talking about it. He's like, oh my God, my mom did this, my mom did that.
Oh.
Yeah, he's actually very proud of that right now.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. And that's a great example as well, because he sees you can go ahead, save a life, and still, live a healthy life yourself, right? And now you're a hero to your son and you're a hero to your husband as well. So, wow, that's amazing. So tell me, so now after surgery, everything's done, you're all healed up, your husband's healed up, everything's great. So tell me, what's life like now after surgery?
After surgery, it's back to normal.
Okay, good.
It's back to normal. Had a good recovery, the both of us. Good time to rest with the lockdown, I must say. He's back at work. I'm back to making a career again. So it worked out, and I mean, now I'm like completely normal. It doesn't even feel like when people talk to me and look at me, I mean, you can't even tell that I'm just living on one kidney,
And that's the thing, not a lot of people realize that, right? Exactly. They think that you need two, but no, we're blessed with two, so we can share if need be, right? So that's what it's all about, sharing.
Yeah.
That's good. And nobody can tell, so that's amazing. No. Wow. Well, I'm glad you're healthy and strong, and your husband's healthy and strong, and everything's back to normal. Life is good, right? Beautiful. Well, I'm glad you're here on the show, and at this point in time, this is where I normally share little nugget of knowledge, a little piece of information for the audience. And the nugget of knowledge today is the more we share, the more we have. So you give, you get back in abundance, right? Definitely. And that's what you did. You gave, you shared, and you've extended your husband's life. You made your son happy. He thinks you're a hero. I mean, I thought I was a hero to begin with, but now he really thinks you're a hero. And it just goes for a full circle around, right? So thank you very much. Thank you for sharing your story, and thank you for showing everybody that it is possible to donate and be healthy and beautiful like you are, and glowing, and life is good, right?
No, thank you so much for having me over, just so I can, share my experience with everybody. I just want to let them know that, it's not hard. Give it a thought.
Yes.
You can save that person's life, and you don't know how much that would mean to them.
Exactly. And to their family as well.
Exactly.
There's a ripple effect when you donate, right?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Amina. I'm glad you were here.
Thank you for having me.
Please feel free to come back again anytime.
No problem.
Right? Thank you.
All right. Thank you.